Welcome to part 4 of the Photoluminescence event. The very likely last part of this main story event. It is not duty for what Angelus fights, but her own will to protect what she holds dear, defending the weak. Even being an entropic, she does have a result of a Sanctifier. Part 9. Position of Dawn. Fire and arrows of daybreaks shall shatter the darkness. Reverse Babylon Tower, Pantheon. Her vigor restored, Angelus shields the two behind herself, her eyes burning with fervent spirit. Good work, Professor. Oh, we really must thank them for their effects, dragging Angelus out of her disorientation. Though I never imagined that remote link would work, perhaps Angelus' fate played a part in it. What of the sacred cannon, Antonina? I have located the other part. Oisphorus has set up a firewall and it won't be a simple matter to get past it. Judging by the interposition rate, there's basically no chance of removing his control on it so quickly. I will believe in success. The professor turns towards the now purple shaded Sanctifier's ranks. In front of them, Hesperus' flames burn brightly. Because we are not the only one who fights against fate. Hey, you cannot possibly be thinking that everything is now going your way just because Bix's Angelus is awake now, right? The fallen great Sanctifier smiled twistedly. What a shame I was not able to taste her despair, but I shall now destroy you in one fell swoop. Then I shall make you all feast upon the deepest sorrow. Angelus does not waver in the face of Anshare's taunt, only raising her bow once more. Again that out. We hone our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. We must not abuse our powers because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. For we heed the revelation of gods, and we act to carry out His will. With the divine Sanctifier's oath in the air, the great Sanctifier's figure is akin to a statue guiding the way. She stands and fully draws her bow. A spinning arrow rushes past Anshare's face towards the outside of the tower, exploding above the battlefield at the front line. This is a signal of peace and safety, set before the battle, and the most powerful proof of her firm belief. Angelus, she still fights for the Sanctifiers. I leave the professor with you, Angelus. She has not forgotten the Sanctifiers Glory. What of you, then? A flame rises from Hesperus' palm, gradually surrounding its vicinity. Unlike before, it is no longer violent and vicious. Their coalesced operants are akin to a candle, igniting the battlefield paint black with despair. The great blade slams onto the ground, attracting the gaze of every Sanctifier present. We hone our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. We must not abuse our powers because we are strong. And neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. For we is the revelation of God's, and we act to carry out His will. This is the Sanctifiers Glory and the art that we have unheld our entire lives. It's futile. The neural clouds are already under the secret scanners' control. All of it is futile. You merely waste what operants you have. Plain? Another gut strikes of the blade in his response. I believe in you, in the possibility of the Sanctifiers. So show me once more the glory that was yours and only yours at day. The long night is silent, with only a low candle swaying in the darkness. Then a voice appears. We honor our blades. Pained as her expression may be, she speaks her art, engraved in her heart as her consciousness struggles. Good. The Sanctifier's leader nods slightly. Shards of candlelight depart from Hesperos' palm, blossoming upon the Sanctifier's body. Impossible. The secret cannot should be in full control of them. Before Oisphorus can think of it further, more and more voices join the recitation of their arts. In the darkness, we defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in a long night. Oh my god. We must not abuse our powers because we are strong. Neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. For we heed the revelation of God's, and we act to carry out His will. Yes, now it is time to enact our art. The bright yellow candlelight spreads amidst them, proliferating across the battlefield like a relay torch. The light of stars gathered ignites the Sanctifier's eyes while driving away the darkness. Lord Hesperus, finally come to your senses. Hesperus pointed the great blade in his hand at Oisphorus. This time, he would not be alone in challenging the stars. Looks like I won my gamble. The battle has only begun. With a wave of Oisphorus' hand, the earth beneath the battlefield begins to tremble once more. The broken ground is submerged by bright red operants. Clouds of entropics appears from behind. The white steels surrounding the many Sanctifiers, intending to devour what remains of their flame. That irritating explosion again. Expression. Why? Why must be I the one? You look at that way. Operants surge around Osiris. Her face twists as the fork in her hand plunges into the ground over and over again, empowered by her anger questioning. What a joke! You want to say that you are just one here? No, I just made my choice. One different from yours. Osiris' anger spirals out of control at the word choice. There was never a choice. You and I were nothing more than pawns. One of Osphorus' experiments. We are entropics, disguised as Sanctifiers. We never had the chance to make a choice. Even if you choose to join the Sanctifiers, they would purge you, the alien that you are. Remember this. I'm your only kind in this world who will love you. The only one who will accept you. So hurry up with killing those two behind you and come to my side. Angelus lowered her bow in her hand, slowly shaking her head. You're wrong, Osharist. My origin has never defined who I am. The flowers she accepts from Angelus blooms in her heart. I do not protect them because I am a Sanctifier. The earth sword beneath the steels has never forgotten, is still radiating in times of struggle. I chose to become a Sanctifier because I wanted to protect them. She holds fast to her weapon once again. I shall enact the Sanctifier's oath and fight for the peace of Magracy. Huh? What the hell are those utterly boring platitudes? Do you really believe any of this? You will go and fight for these non-existent things? Yes, I will. Even if I never see the dawn of victory. Boring. A malevolent shade of black begins to seek out of her body, a signature of entropic power. It leaks into the surrounding space, darkening the very surrounding. Boring, 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 boring! So truly boring. Oh, I liked Osharis. Please. When the waters of energy ceases, the darkness ruler emerges from within. That appearance of yours. This is how we should be, Big Sis. I already tired of your theories. When you get down to it, your ideals are of no worth in this battle. A no, baleful presence fills the room. Only the victor's ideals can be correct, Big Sis. Regrettably, you are no match for me now. Won't know until we try. The great Sanctifier manifests her bow and arrow, holding it in her hand. Then struggle, drown in your ideas and die. Come, Big Sis. Have this last dance with me. Ooh. Stage 15. The devoted deviation. The same form, the same weapon, and the same unreachable destination as always. Sanctifiers Shares. Am I destined to lose this battle? Okay. Rather than a battle, everything happened here in a more akin to a one-sided game. Phantom blades of opponents fly straight ahead, blocking Angelus' path of retreat. With no options left, Angelus abandoned her bow and arrow, cutting apart the obstacles with former blades of light. Angelus immediately leaps backwards, but she's still too slow. The obstacles she just cut apart explode like bombs, catching her in their radius. After she has already readjusted her stance and escaped the smoke, the Enterprise Osiris has already prepared another attack, regarding the prey before her with considerable interest. So, Big Sis, how does it feel to be hurt by your own style of attack? Don't give me that look. Don't try to hide it from me either. Your foot got pretty messed up in that explosion, didn't it? She easily sees through Angelus' plan. Just as Osiris said, operants trickle out of Angelus' left foot. Even with her wounds obscured by the viewing angle, her mobility is impacted without a doubt. Big Sis, don't you think what's happening here is quite like what Alcyone did back then? Though this time, it's not a battle between two Sanctifiers, but two entropics in their forms. What a shame that you cannot be Enterprise because of your entropic core. Cut down on the despair that could be injected into this battle somewhat. This must be the very first time I have ever wished you were a real Sanctifier, Big Sis. She suddenly retracted her smile, her previous coldness returning. By the way, bugs should behave like bugs. Don't go scurrying about, ruining my mood. A phantom blade flies toward the shield that covers them, forcing them to stop their analysis of the sacred canon. It will not be such a simple warning next time. I thought it would take you longer to notice. We have only reclaimed a small part of the cannon, and Oisphorus has summoned anthropic reinforcements. Damn it, this cannot continue. The ones at the oasis cannot reinforce us here, and we won't have any personnel to spare from the main battlefield. If things stay as they are, Angelus will lose. I have already all contacted Salmon and Sangoma. Problem is whether they will take it over here in time. Angelus put down her weapons, stopping her attacks. Oh? Finally giving up your full-hearted resistance, Big Sis? I have simply realized that all of those attacks would be ineffective. With so few operants left, I might as well put it all in one line. A sudden surge of operants immediately puts Osiris on her guard. Where did this power come from? I see, right. Do you have damaged your Nero Cloud in exchange for power? So what? Even now, you do not embrace entropy, instead restoring to such methods to fight me? Fantastic, Big Sis! This is truly captivating. Osiris laughed madly, concentrating operants into her weapon. Only such a resolve deserves to be destroyed by me. Come, let me destroy what hope you have left. Locked in operants, she rapidly approached Angelus, preventing her from creating distance. No, wait! Osiris' Nero Cloud wavers at the sight of a familiar look in Angelus' eyes. In the next moment, she realizes the source of this uncanny feeling of déjà vu. Electra grabs at Alcyone. Alcyone does not dodge, but moves into the blow. Electra's claws pierce her painted body. In response, Alcyone extends her arms and grabs Electra by her throat. Begin hack. Unlike the expected hack, the traces of interposition on Electra instead counter-hacks Alcyon. I can do it. This is going to work. So that was your plan, Big Sis. Regrettably, I'm not Alcyone, and you are not Electra. If I remember correctly, that attack came from here. Angelo's arrow stays unreally still, just as Alcyone remembered. Ashari only becomes more sure of her assumption. She runs through the events that would occur, making plans ahead of time to modify her angle of attacks. As the distance between the two decreased, she clearly sees the serious expression on Angelo's face, exactly like Alcyone on that fateful day, ready to sacrifice herself. Let me have a taste of your despair. Huh? As stomach pierced, Angelo slumps down to one knee, her weapon leaving her hands and dissolving into operance. Oh, dull. Those old clichés. Oh, the first to fall in one win. Please, it's all so tiring. Her arrow-pierced chest bleeds profusely, staining her entropy-colored purple shift. Even if it's just once, I want to see an ending where the villains win. Asharis cannot support herself any longer, falling in the puddle of blood. The winner of the duel slowly walks up to Asharis, fighting against her injured body. That expression look terrible on you. Smile a little, Victor. You are the hero who defeated me. That last attack really breaks the rules, doesn't it? I thought you would attack from the same angle as Alcyone. I never ever considered her plan. Huh? From the very beginning, I planned to end this all my own way. Is that so? What a shame. Looks like I was the one trapped in the past. Though this does not mean that I'm wrong. I only lost to you, not for your justice. And you knew your claws worse for wear? Yeah, I think we can call it a draw. If we ever have a chance to meet again, when the time comes, Big Sis, I beg of you not to bore me. Don't worry, no matter how many times I must do it, I will rescue you from the abyss of interpretation every time. My little sister. Asharis opens her eyes wide, smiling briefly. You are still so spiritful ever at the very end. Bye-bye. After saying a little goodbye, more and more operants sit out, fully painting Asharis' long hair red. For the same reason, Angelo suddenly thinks of how Asharis said she hated the color red. She cannot explain why the thoughts came so suddenly, neither what relevance those two things have. Angelus tries to wipe it away, but it solidified in Angelus' memory like a thorn. The more one tries to remove it, The deeper it digs, and the more it hurts. As this pain burrows deeper and deeper, Andrews gives up. She tries to wipe away the bloodstains in Oshari's hair, silently holding her. Angelos? Give me a few seconds for a brief goodbye. She was a Sanctifier once, too. Of course. This funeral of 3 participants lasts for a laughably short time. A gust of wind signals its end, disappearing into the distance with the master of the ceremony. Angelo's gaze does not follow the direction she lives in, only turning around to look at the 2 figures behind her. And Master Lord Hesperus of what has happened here. Our mission is complete. No reason to delay things on the front line anymore. Antonida, how is the progress of reclaiming the secret cannon? Approximately 1/3 of it is still under Oisferos control. This level of improvisation in that portion is severe, and I'm afraid nothing can be done about it. Looks like this is the best we can do here. The entropics summoned by Oisferos have taken over the front lines, and we must hurry back to reinforce Lord Hesperus. I will contact him immediately. Her bowstring's worn fingers hesitates for a moment, but she soon begins to call on her communicator. An emergency notice appears at her terminal, robbing her from the ability to think in an instant. Lord Hesperus, why? 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 What did happen? Ignited passion. The greater the crisis, the more decisive we must be. Yeah. The great ass hurtles through the air, cleaving the entropics behind her in twain. I don't think Hesperus will survive this chapter, to be honest. Freed from control, the intermediate Sanctifiers throws themselves into the fray. On the battlefield, this is their only available option. Do not rush ahead like that, Reverence. Your opponents will soon be depleted if you attack in such manners. That might be so, but those entropics are far tougher than before. Yes, many of them are stronger than my clones already. As she speaks, one of the Hope's clones are struck down by the entropics, dissolving into operants. Reverence takes several steps back, trying to get away from the entropic's tide. If we continue to retreat, the Twilight Acropolis will soon be their territory. If we were to try and launch in counterattack then... Yeah. Watch out. A slavering entropic appears in the dead zone of Reference vision. She spins around, swinging her axe, but the lack of remaining operants makes her stumble and fall, only able to watch as the monster claws rush towards her. The attack suddenly stops in mid-air. In the very next moment, a blade pierces the monster's body, bisecting it. Oh, I'm saved! Be more careful this time. Thank you for your... Before Reverence can finish delivering thanks, Judgment is already on the other side of the battlefield. How is Lord Hesperus? The intel from the front would suggest that Lord Hesperus is single-handedly defending Zone A. Lord Hesperus' wounds are intense, though. Any other great Sanctifier would have fallen long ago. But Lord Hesperus continued the fight still. I see. If that's so, we must fight till the very end as well. We follow in Lord Hesperus' footsteps. For Magracy! For Magracy! The greater Sanctifiers raise their weapons in their hands high. The candlelight that was given to them just a moment ago, flickering in the wind, in and out. The light's master cuts and clips, his fiercely burning flames, blocking out the entropics of fans want more. But there didn't seem to be any end of those monsters. Before he has any chances to rest, the mountain of entropics gather from all directions, seeking to extinguish the mega flame. He can only continue to wield his blade, just as he always have done. Lord Hesperus, what do you think what a Sanctifier is? You would be better off asking Oisphorus this question. His answer to that question would unravel the uncertainties in your mind far better than mine. I see. Hesperus detects the hesitation in Angelo's voice. He stands in silence for a moment, looking at the commemorative stele behind him. I cannot give you a clear answer to your question, and I know not how to advise you on the manner. The duty and responsibility that Oisphorus speaks of are certainly important to the Sanctifiers. But the reason that I become a Sanctifier is much more simple. Bestowed with sentiment, the flowers are radiant in their purity, silently warding the names behind it. Battle is the only way I know to protect everyone. Before entropy takes me, I shall keep this flame burning, hot and dangerous. Yeah, I really don't see how Hesperus will survive this chapter. I don't know whether you understand the emotions known as fear. The flames, surging skywards, burn away the entropics in the vicinity, igniting the gloomy battlefield once more. If you do not allow me to teach you to fear the flames. Fearful, the monster glows, unwilling to brave the flames. The man approaches the monsters, taking back their ground and drawing a boundary of flame. In this moment, an oncoming, encrypted call arrives. It's time for scheduled communication. Creation report, Antonina? Approximately 1/3 of the sacred cannon is completely infected, and there's nothing I can do about it. We know that a large amount of entropics have appeared on the battlefield. If necessary, angels can reinforce. I understand. You have done all you can. He looks behind himself. The collapsed tail corrodes away in the viscous fluid, fading away along with the glories of yesterday. Could you link me with him? I would like to speak with them. With him? With Professor, you mean? The green-haired doll understands Hesperus' meaning, putting him through with a series of inputs. Hesperus, why at a time like this? The professor immediately detects the abnormality. Is something wrong on the front lines? Do you need me to? Professor. No, don't do this, their final words moment. Hesperus cut them off silently. I really starting to like you. We determined our protocols before the operation began. No matter what happened, we cannot let the front lines impact the operation. I will do everything I can to help you. This is my duty, and what I must amends for. Yes, I have not forgotten. The Sanctifiers leader lets go of his stained expression and a rare moment of gentleness appears on his face. Frankly speaking, until now, I didn't think this battle concerned you. If it was not for my dereliction of duty, this conflict and this fight would all have been avoided. As his friend, I didn't correct Eusphorus appropriately when he betrayed the Sanctifiers. As a leader, I did not make clear to my followers the direction which we should proceed in. Hesperus? Yeah, that's the expression I'm having right now too. I'm not as depth of mind as you are, and could not understand the goals behind Eusphorus' words and action. The Sanctifier leader leans downwards, touching the earth beneath him that once embodies peace and order. The king that once belonged here rests high in the sky, watching the slaughter before him upon the battlefield. But for me, all that he does is evil. No matter what his reasons are, these deeds cannot be forgotten. Yeah, you're right. For Macrocy's future existence, battle is the only option we have left. I must apologize for what I did before. This final spark of hope that cannot be discovered by Eusphorus. I need your help with this as well. I understand. Hesperus finally smiles, having received the other party's promise. Oh my god. I will live to witness the dawn of victory. Another encrypted communication segment is injected into their conversation. Hesperus takes the chances to wipe away the professor's track, preventing the enemy from detecting their traces. Lord Hesperus, the battle hardly goes in our favor. Despite our best efforts, the reversible tower is all but lost. We are to expect the worst. We should preserve what remaining personnel we have from the Twilight Acropolis. Antonida is still doing what she can. We must buy her time. What of the casualties? Those who can still fight continue to do so. Some are lost the reason due to the cannon's deterioration and cannot be transferred from the battlefield. We did not have time to give a proper death. I see. Allow me to bear this responsibility. Eusphorus gazes at the ruins not far away. Only a few weeks ago, it still looked like the original, peaceful Acropolis. Raven, did you forget the oath you swore on the square that day? I have not. It has been ever close to my heart. He has forgotten. The man who led you in swearing them has forgotten. The Sanctifier leader rises to his full height, sheathing his blade. We have our backs onto the wall. If we lose this place, we will have no place to call home. Raven, gather the remaining Sanctifiers. Have them wait behind my flames. Yes. Raven hastily answers the call. The Sanctifier leader moves forward, a hand on his wound. Blood paints the muddy path he walks, igniting sparks with each and every drop. Not much time left, I see. Places his weapon in a reverse grip, resetting the earth. We hone our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. We must not abuse our power because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. For we heed the revelations of God, and we act to carry out his will. Holy flames divide the battlefield behind him, intercepting the wave of attacking entropics. Out of either anger or instinct, the entropic pounds upon the only enemy remaining on the battlefield. The Flames Master swings his blade once more, sending them to a fiery end. But when the flame fades, the Sanctifiers realize the price behind the power on display. Limited removal. Lord Hesperus is burning himself away. We will be right there, Lord Hesperus. Get back! Huh. I have told you that this is my battlefield, and none may interfere. Now, retreat, and reserve your energy for the next battle. But he's not surviving this one. The surging flames tear the sky apart once more. Amid the flames, a pair of ice blue eyes glow, filled with anger and condemnation. No buts! You would say that the Sanctifiers have failed and that any further struggle is meaningless? You would have battered comrades, retire in shame and throw away their noble sacrifice? You would tell the ancients behind you, those who you protect, that this world is beyond help and already lost to the clutches of darkness? Illusion of choice? No. I would not. Oh God. Yeah. Good. That is the look in your eyes I want to see. Before you depart, allow me to light the path forward. Without further farewells, the vow forged from the flames well and truly separates Hesperus from the Sanctifiers. Their leader silhouette fades from the Sanctifier's sight, leaving only the sound of combusting operants and the screeching of entropics. Part 11. Oath of Purity. We honor our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear a light in the long night. How many times I already have this oath? The Reverse Babylon Tower, Pantheon. Angelus, what are you doing? The greater Sanctifier does not immediately reply. She gestures in the air, recycling the arrows she fires previously into operants. I will make for the front line to assist Lord Hesperus. Before that, I shall safely escort you away. These are not Hesperus' order, are they? Angelus hesitates for a moment, revealing the truth after thinking over her words. I receive a message from Lord Hesperus, including me to escort you as a retreat, and command me to stay away from the front lines. Lord Hesperus did not respond to further questions for communicator. I know what that means. Hearing this, the duo's faces become conflicted, much like Angelus. Antonida moves to say something, but is interrupted immediately by Angelus. Lord Hesperus is still fighting. There's still time. Before Angelus can finish, dazzling flames suddenly apply a shade of red to the shattered exterior of the Reverse Babylon Tower. Angelus looks toward the sensation of the battlefield Oisphorus is responsible for. An unending wall of flames sprouts from the wall, sheltering the remaining Sanctifiers behind it, leaving him to partake in this carnage alone. The flames burn away and slay the entropics in row, but there are always more to pound on this faint light. Damn it! She attempts to unfurl her wings and take flight, but her feather-wing wings are far too damaged from the previous battles, and she fails to get off the ground. There's no time! Antonida, how is the reverse Babylon Tower? The interposition process has come under control, but many entropies are still active. And the other walls? No traces of entropies, relatively safe. Wait, what are you planning? That's good. Apologies, I have something I must verify myself. I will be back in the moment. Angelus forms an arrow with her remaining operants, leaping towards the outside world. Angelus! Ignoring the force of the wind and freefall, the greatest Sanctifier fires a curved shot, attempting to reinforce Hesperus from where the wall of fire does not cover. Yet the result is as expected. The rain of arrows is thoroughly stopped while still airborne, with no chance to get around the wall. Complete throughout obstruction. Lord Hesperus, you. The rapidly approaching terra firma leaves no time for her to think. Angelus can only plunge arrow after arrow of operants into the outer wall, trying to slow her descent. But with her tempered neurocloud, her arrows shatter one after another, finding no purchase. Over here, Angelus! A mobile platform bearing the two approaches Angelus from above. She does not hesitate to grab onto the platform railings, shooting an explosive arrow with their centrifugal force. 3 sequential explosions barely stop the platform in mid-air. That was close, nearly turned into mincemeat party. Still apprehensive, the doll turns around, trying to persuade her impulsive comrade. I understand how you feel, Angelus, but facing down the entropies the state is still too dangerous. It matters not how dangerous it is. If Lord Hesperus falls here, then... She stops herself. Beyond that boundary lies a future she has yet to and would much rather not consider. Perhaps you do need a face-to-face explanation, and farewell. The surrounding suddenly freezes. The scenery nearby changes after a mere blink. The broken, shattered reverse Babylon Tower was no more. A divine, flawless space of pure white takes its place. This is my sacred cannon? Yes, this would be my second time visiting. A familiar voice appears behind. Angel turns around, confirming her own conjecture. Sorry, Professor, we have no time to talk. The frontline state is worse than you could ever imagine. Oisphorus first enterprise a secret cannon, then summon an entropic horde. Sanctifiers losses have been heavy, and we are depending on Lord Hesperus' forces division of the battlefield to delay the enemies. I have no power to interfere on the battlefield currently. I must think of some way to assist Lord Hesperus. No need, Angelus. As agreed, I would handle everything on the front line. You need only handle your delegated duties. The Sanctifier's leader figure emerges from the darkness, approaching the two. Lord Hesperus? I ask the Oasis Professor to connect to your secret cannon and create the space using their neurocloud. Oisphorus' understanding of us is too deep, and he watches closely over my movements. I had no options but to make a request of the professor. I apologize. I did not intend to add further difficulties to your operation. Don't worry, time does not pass here like the outside world, and there is no need to worry about the mission. Your answers are always so sympathetic. It reminds me of an old friend. I wish for you to witness this process too, a personal desire of mine. Lord Hesperus, you? Hesperus shakes his head, cutting off Angelus. His face has returned to its usual stern and serious state. We honor all blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear a light in the long night. We must not abuse our powers because we are strong. Neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. Hesperus puts a palm on his chest, and a flame lights in his hand. For we heed the revelation of God, and we act to carry out His will. Only through order can we glimpse the truths of the revelation. The blessed must engrave the gods in their hearts, fulfill their will, and seek their glory. The flame grows brighter. Hesperus offers Angelus his hand. The flames in his palm, now radiating a sun-like resplendence. Angelus, I shall now bestow on you the permission of the leader of Sanctifiers. Lord Hesperus, what are you saying? I have little time left. Hesperus catches his hand, dispersing his disguised projection and displaying the true state of his body. This, as he said, his life was fleeting like a candle of wind. His remaining vitality seeps out of his wounds along with his operant. His fractured body sheared apart and pieces, having been maintained by his patchwork, field repairs until now. With a one fulfilled their duty upon the field, the Sanctifier's future must be bequeathed to some suitable. And my choice is you. But my god, she's like Anthropic. But also Sanctifier's leader, there is no way. This is way too chaotic. But why me? The greater Sanctifier struggles to accept the reality in front of her. I'm not ready yet. This duty is far too onerous for me. As it is, I cannot lead them like you. I cannot find the path forward for them. She shields her own disguise with each and every self-pointed word, leaving unhealable gashes in her heart of hearts. I'm not a true Sanctifier either. To defeat Osiris, I burned away the Sanctifier's path of my neural cloud in exchange for power. As things are, I'm more an entropic, clad in Sanctifier's skin. The powerlessness weighed heavy on her mind. She shakes her head and her voice breaks, denying her own duty and identity. Crisis and strife do not wait for us to make ready before they appear, Angelus. Professor, I agree with Hesperus' judgment. You should be the next leader of the Sanctifiers. You bear the same resolve and consciousness as him. You would both give yourself for the justice in your heart, and you know the importance of being resolute in your duties. In such time of crisis, a leader such as you is indeed to blaze a path. Professor, I cannot be as calm as you are. She clutches her wounded right arm tightly, lamenting in the pleading manner. I have lost far too much today. I have buried comrades that stood by my side, killed a former sister, and now my leader that I trust in. I cannot bear this burden. I may be able to ensure the justice of my actions right now, but what if I were to turn into someone like Osiris? Angelus. What you fear will not come to pass, and you will never become a second Osiris. Even with your assurance, I... Answer me, great Sanctifier Angelus. The sudden sternness makes Angelus pause. What made you choose differently than Osiris in that dream? What drives you to stand and fight the entropic still? I want to protect all that I hold dear. The harsh and rigid warrior nods in recognition. The night shall eventually end, and the dawn is soon to come. I leave this to you, great Sanctifier Angelus. Do not forget your odds, and do not forget the choice that you once made. He passes his flame to Angelus, allowing the orange worm to blossom in her neural cloud. I have undone the modification made by Oisphorus to your neural cloud with the power of the Sanctifiers. You are no longer an entropic, but a true, full-fledged great Sanctifier. Lord Hesperus! The passing of the leader's permission is a legacy process and a great test. The secret canon sees you as a leader, but the tremendous injection of operance will cause great pain. Only by accepting this pain and the power that comes with it can you become the new leader of the Sanctifiers. But I believe in you. Your heart is already filled with the sacrifices and resolve of your predecessors. They have already become your strength. Only that your path from now on must be walking alone. If there is a truly unconquerable object, Professor of the Oasis, can I trust you to guide her? Of course, I understand. I can be at ease then. The former Sanctifier's leader smiles, relieved. He casts his gaze towards the faraway darkness. I shall fulfill my duty and make time for your contest over the sacred covenant. Angelus, I fully bestow upon you the ranks of the Sanctifier leader. The flame in Hesperus' hands burned bright still. It slowly illuminated the shift histories of the Sanctifiers. In those snapshots of the past, his flame was once weak, passed down from Sanctifier to Sanctifier. Between old hands, young hands, pierced and bloody hands, regretful and powerless hands. He carried the flames in his hands across the savannah, and she does the same across the city. During the lengthy journey, the weak flame gradually grows radiant. Even in the endless night, the light in their hands light the path to all that came before. And now, the light stopped before the girl. The future is in your hands. Before Angelus can respond, the hand bearing the flames dissipating into the darkness, leaving the spark that has bore witness to the resolve of countless Sanctifiers dancing in the wind. Tears fall from the girl's face. Angelus? Professor, I know very well that to the humans on the outside, this inheritance of resolve is completely meaningless. All what we do are programmed, mechanical commands, recalcitrant conflict between pieces of data, false justice and freedom that hold no value whatsoever. When we get on the bottom of it, all of this is just a minuscule war taking place on a server memory. Who wins? Who dies? And all that happens in this little world will make no difference in any of human history. But even so, I wish to protect them. She takes hold of the pair of hands in her memories, not letting go. Please, Professor, before I am of able strength, will you protect this light with me? Of course. The two hands overlaps under the light, igniting this insignificant, putrid flames of life once more. The last stages. Stage 17, illuminating tomorrow. The flames which burn away all corruption light ups up the darkness before dawn. Antonina?
作戦モードへの切り替え完了。
Traveling. Sanctifier Fortune. Accusation. Hesperus Flame. Iceforus. Hesperus Attack. Sanctifier's Fortitude. Structural improvisation exceeds 90%. Cleansing Request. You fought hard. And we received our oath. Faction Patience, Structural Improvisation, 95%. Cleansing Effect Request. Sanctifier Defense Cleansing Request. Farewell. The dawn is night, and I shall illuminate the final darkness before day breaks. The rest I leave to you. The former Sanctifier leader spews forth blood with one knee to the ground, paying the price for the forced neural communication just a moment ago. To prevent Iceforus from detecting any abnormalities, Hesperus almost exhausts what remains of his operants to mask the signal. Struggles to rise to his feet amidst the flames, meeting the pair of golden eyes residing in the darkness above. Good, good. I have not been found out. Yeah. The entropic horde sniffs out the weekend of the prey before them, swarming forth and attempting to tear him apart. Yeah. His blade fails to cut through the incoming tentacles, only capable of beating his attacker back. Soon enough come a second and a third, assaulting him from the blind spot in his vision. Sharp tentacles pierce Hesperus' body. He decisively burns away the interluding limbs with his flame, splitting his attackers into two halves with a counterattack. Without another moment to breathe, more and more force pour forth from the shadows, attempting to break through the gaps in the walls while Hesperus is weak. No one step forward. Playing with the integrity of his neural cloud once more, flames billow upwards, burning away the entropic tide in an instant. His pouring sweat and the spilling red operants from his body are vaporized by the heat before they hit the ground. Barely supporting his body, Hesperus placed himself in the entropic's way once more. He knew he could not fall. Behind the wall of flames, what was remained of Magracy's hope, what which he must protect at any cost. He looks at the faraway stranger judging him upon his throne, lightly bidding farewell. Looks like we won't get to have that drink together. The open's formed flames reach onwards the heavens, lighting up the reverse Babylon Tower, infinite darkness sky. Even the throne in distant Tartarus feels this heat, wrought by the flames of life. The men maintain the wall of fire, advancing towards the throne step by step. So this is your resolve. He rises, sending blades of starlight at Hesperus. The crescent-shaped attacks are shattered in an instant as they approach Hesperus, their shards leaving cuts upon the side of Hesperus' neck. His attack ineffective. Oisphorus raises his hands once more, targeting those who attempt to retreat behind the wall. Never! The flames intercept the attack once more. Oisphorus seems to realize something, but his surprise is soon replaced by his usual frigidity. He no longer moves to attack, only looking at the flame-cloaked figure in front of him that he is ever so familiar with. That figure proclaims his ideals and resolve until very end. For Magracy! Hesperus, what do you think wine would taste like? Wine? Yes, I hear it's a beverage our gods partake of when they feel happiness or melancholy. The drink Electra created before piqued my interest, and I entertained the thoughts of having everyone taste of the real thing. If I ever did have the chance, I should love to sample its flavor. Very well, before you return from Tartarus, I shall have this wine you speak of ready. Seeing the surprise on his face, Hesperus frowns with displeasure. What is it? Nothing. I'm merely a little surprised. What you just said really is not your usual style. No, pay no mind to it. Let's call it a deal then. He smiles and says, moving on from the previous topic. It is indeed true that you are more suitable to guarding the border. You have always delegated the work as such. You manage the safety and affairs of Magracia, and I guard Tartarus. What prompted these musings? I'm only recognized the god's wisdom. The dragon more suited to arms shall be posted there, stifling any threat while it is still in its cradle. By the way, why did you choose a dragon as your symbol? You need not to tell me if it is troublesome. I only ask you of my personal curiosity. Finding Hesperus silent, Oisphorus attempt to round out this awkward previous statement. I once heard a story about a dragon. A story? Yes, I don't remember the exact details. Only that the dragon could not overcome destiny in the end, failing in its beloved land. But when it fell no regret. Its final roar echoes through a valley, carving this will into the hearts of generation after generation of your dragon. Those it lived on as a flame of fate, eventually lighting the way ahead for its progeny. I wish to become an existence like it one day. A new overlord of Magracia ends his reminiscence, gazing at the figure in his way who was burning always his life. His silhouette becomes blurry in the raging flames, only his shattered weapon supporting his figure discernible in the heat. Oh my god. The dragon shall not go out but with a wail. He fixates upon the shattered blade for some time, before finally walking past it. Away with you. An unsheathed blade of starlight slays a monster that dared approach in a single strike. There lies an existence you shall not allow to train. He speaks no more, only looking up at the endless blazing wall before him. Even after its master's passing, the fierce flames still burns the entropics, halting their advance. Oisphorus knew that those wounding flames, fueled by a neural cloud, would not fade easily. Even if he were to attack it with all his might, it would take some time to break through. He had not such designs, however. He only wishes to watch this flame burn until its final moment. The lantern bearer, as the long night comes to a halt. Magracia's future is in your hands now. Loose the Hesperus flames. Part 12. Halfway point. The gamble is halfway through, and the players went into their strategies. Reverse Babel Tower, Pantheon. Don't be rash, Antonida. But the conversation is interrupted by entropic skirking. They instinctively play around with their tentacles, but their order prevents them from transgressing upon There are targets beyond surrounding them. After a brief standstill, the Entropics Overlord appears before them. You disappoint me. His disguise discarded, Oisphorus did not bother with idle talk, simply expressing his displeasure. 3 minutes and 12 seconds. That is how long Hesperus delayed me at the cost of his life. I have respected his resolve, but you have not used his time well at all. I don't think so, Oisphorus. The professor looks up, boldly facing down the newly christened King's Sword. Antonida and I did not waste time the Hesperus brought us. With our permissions and efforts, the secret cannon is truthfully locked down. The infected portion of temporarily unworkable, but you won't be able to enterprise it as you wish now. The reversible tower that Hesperus defended with his life is not yours anymore. At this, Oisphorus frowned somewhat. So what? I can still control this place with Entropic's power. You are still destined to fall, Professor. First time I have been called that by our name, which is he actually called. Oh, this Professor really doesn't jive well with me. What are you saying? The white-robed figure smiles confidently. Tell me, Oisphorus. Having monitored the battlefield until now, since how long were you under the impression I was him? Huh? Wait, what? Oisphorus waved his hand, dispelling the neural projection of the other person before him with fair force? It's the Professor! Oh, it's actually here! Brusque as you are always been. Seriously, cannot you be a little bit gentle with your former accomplice? Irida. That's right. It is the first time we have met like this, right? Just when did you swap? I'm not sure if I swap is the right word here. From the very beginning, he created a plan with your movements in mind. Let us proceed. If I may speak so frankly, our secret canon is not so easily modified or transferred. It contains the information of every Sanctifier that has been. If one is not familiar with its workings, they will be stepped away into vast and chaotic streams of data upon initial connection. That is correct. That is why I am here with the Professor. I think interacting with the secret canon with Antonida's tech and human permissions will make it possible to overdrive its ownership. And this means you must enter the Pantheon together at the same time, yes? Yes. And this is related to a request I have for you. I hope that you will be able to tie down Oisphorus on the front lines and allow an Oasis squad to escort Antonida and I into the Pantheon. The Professor pauses for a moment, signing somewhat helplessly. At least, that's what it needs to look like. What does it mean? Yeah, oh my god, I love those plot twists. Oh, I love it. I say that when the importance of this operation is interacting with the secret canon and reclaiming it using Antonida's technology and human permission. Your misunderstanding is that both Antonida and I must be present. No, what if the person entering the tower is not the Oasis Professor, but another human on Magracy? Hesperus, do you think we can trick him like this? The Sanctifier leader comes to an understanding. A rare surprise expression appears on his face. A most risky move. The risk and the practicality of this plan. This other human is familiar with the professor's permissions as well. Rather, those permissions were hers in the first place, and she can manipulate them as she desires. In combination with the disguise technology EOS has provided us with, I think it is very possible to trick a Sanctifier's leader. And in truth, we already have. A figure before him briefly undoes her disguise, displaying their true appearance. It's good to meet you, Hesperus. Since even you did not have a single suspicion, I think this plan is a workable one. So it was part of your plan from the very beginning. As expected of the professor. After a brief contemplation, the Sanctifier leader raises his head once more, extending a hand towards this human he has never met before. Very well. I agree with your plan. Continue as you will. I will do everything in my power to assist you. As the two blades clash, on the less notable part of the battlefield, three figures proceed stealthy into the tower as planned. Hesperus has engaged the enemy. Now! Hold on, I need to make sure the ID disguise works properly. The green-haired doll taps away rapidly on the keyboard. As a series of checks succeed, she lets out a long sigh of relief, quickly making her way to her companions in their hiding spot. Preparation complete. We can enter the tower, Professor. Yeah, let's go. We cannot waste this opportunity Hesperus has given us. May the fortune be with you, Lord Hesperus. No wonder Persica chose this one. One hell of a dangerous plan. But they foresaw everything. Professor Irida, her disguise doffed, giving her regards to the plan's creator. Perhaps this plan was already simmering in their minds when they spoke to me, and that was why they only elaborated on the details after we reached an agreement. I never thought the day would come when I would be a piece of the board myself as well. But at least, judging by the results, they bet right. Antonida, your proposal's done well. As much as I hate to admit, but they have. It is our professor after all. The green-haired doll questions the Sanctifier's highs up in the air. How does it feel to be deceived, Eisphorus? Answer me. Where is he? Eisphorus' face grows ever more gloomy. The hidden rage in his voice diffusing into the words along with its operants, further mutilating the already shattered pantheon. Just as the professor thought. Never imagined that I would see that expression on your face, high and mighty as you are. Yep. A sudden incoming call interrupts Eisphorus' outburst. Tartarus? He suddenly realized something, his expression turning into one of anger. You! Upon the throne beneath the endless abyss, the entropic monarch salutes and gestures from a distant land elegantly. You are finally here, Professor. I have been waiting since the very beginning. And I as well. This day has been a long time coming. It appears we are of the same mind. The arrangements are complete. The prelude has begun, and our guests are present. Commence then, O gala splendid beyond compare. As Malkira's lava echoes through the throne room, a figure by her side draws its blade, striking out. Lena, let me guess. A flame burns brightly upon the blade, illuminating a face most familiar. What? I have goosebumps. The evils. Sol. Photoluminescence. And what happened here? What? I did not expect this ending. Is it Enterprise Sol? But oh! Don't we have the eyes on Henuruk data? Damn, we already fought Sol last chapter. And now we have to do it again? Okay, so they end this chapter in suspense. Pretty typical for Girls Frontline. As I play now Girls Frontline 2. They do the same there. Hello. So I will say it is shorter than I expected. And well, I think it is... The game will probably give us a little bit of time to relax. I do wanna have some couple of funnier stories and just relaxing time before we start new main chapter. They literally double down it with chapter after chapter. Sadly, the last chapter was really not that good translated, but it still was interesting. So I'm looking forward to what happened to Sol, and I'm more excited. I know the quality dropped drastically because I'm still recording at the last day, unfortunately, again. I will try to better myself. As for this part, it is coming to an end. I thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned, for listening. I wish you a good day, night, afternoon, and see you more in your cloud. Take care.